We don't deserve him.
He's quite the harpy when it comes to the Sharpie. Thursday at a cabinet meeting, the Prez talked about the economics of the writing instruments he uses when he signs important documents. See this pen right here?
See this pen right here? This pen is very inexpensive, but it writes well. I like it. But I can't have the pen the way it was. You know what it is. I don't want to give too much publicity, but they do treat me well, Sharpie. So I came here, they have $1,000 pens. Beautiful pen, ballpoint. 1,000, it was gold, silver, gorgeous. But I'm handing out to kids that don't even know what they're, what is this, Mommy? They didn't write well. So I take it out, and I saw it, and there's no ink. And I got all you people looking, and you say, there must be something wrong with Trump. This one, I called the guy. I said, I'd like to use your pen, but I can't have a gray thing with a big S on it, saying Sharpie. He said, well, I can make it nicer. I said, what can you do? He said, I'll paint it black. I said, that's nice. And I can even paint the White House on it, sir, if you like, in gold.
It's got to be gold. What about me? But whatever you do, don't ask the president if he's going to go in for the uranium.
Mr. President, are you going to go in for the uranium? Like, how do you secure Iran and...
Let's assume I was or I wasn't. Why would I ever answer a question?
Can you accomplish
what kind of a question? Am I going to go in for the... Oh, yeah, I'm going in. We're going in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. How could you possibly ask a question like that and expect an answer? I don't know. But I don't know. I think you're a friendly person, too. It's just such a ridiculous question.
We really don't deserve him. Later in the day, he dialed into this show called The Five. Now, I think you know he did very well with the gay vote, okay?
No, I think I did very well with the gay vote, okay? I even played the gay national anthem as my walk-off, okay, for my campaign. And I think it probably helped me, but I did great with no Republicans ever gotten the gay vote like I did, and I'm very proud of it. I think it's great. Perhaps it's because I'm from New York City. I don't know. But the gay national anthem was my walk-off.
His walk-off. Finally, does Dana remember when they had lunch years ago at the base of Trump Tower?
You remember when we had lunch years ago in the base of Trump Tower when it was a brand new building?
It was a long time ago, yes.
A long time ago, and you haven't changed.
Oh.
You have not changed. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but you may be even better looking, okay? So I don't know what you're doing. But I will not say that.
Makeup has a lot to do with
I will not say
that.
that because that will end my political career. You know, you're not allowed to say a woman's beautiful anymore. You know that, Jesse. You got to be careful.
Jesse's always in trouble.
Paul, you see Dana handling that compliment? She's shifted it to hair and makeup.
First of all, let's review the bidding here. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's gay-friendly. Flirting with Dana, and he uses a Sharpie. He's you.
My God. Are you saying I should run in 2028?
That's exactly what I'm not saying. Here's the thing about all of this. He calls in. He's broken a seal that can't be resealed. You can never, in my estimation, go back to picture any prior president calling into the Five.
Yeah.
Think about how staged, how arid and antiseptic it would be. It would be all policy lines. Nobody laughs. Nobody's entertained. You do it just to say you had the president on, you go on. He's changed that, in my estimation, for good. I don't think we can have a president that doesn't sound like a guy you would sit next to at a bar ever again, or a woman, because he talks like somebody you know. He says stuff on TV, in public, to the Europeans, to the world, like you talk to a friend of yours. And I don't think you can go back to being completely artificial. It won't work. People will say, Trump would never do that. Trump would just be honest with us.
Yeah.
And in a way, I think he's made politics, and I know some people don't like, he says the quiet part out loud and all that other stuff, but the bottom line is, from where I sit, he has actually made the discourse, the conversation with the American people, a lot more honest.
Yeah.
You feel like you know him.
Yeah, and it's the elites that go, oh, my God, he's so obnoxious and arrogant. It's like, that's because that's what America is. Yeah. Maybe he kind of reflects. Anything jump out at you?
Well, I mean, we're talking about my kitchen tool here, the Sharpie. Most people don't know this, but the Sharpie is actually the most valuable tool in the kitchen. Really? True story. I saw a guy trade a bag of Coke once for a Sharpie.
Really?
This because you lose the Sharpie. You have to use the Sharpie for everything in the kitchen, and it's waterproof. So what Trump just did to kind of take the baton from what you were saying was he endeared himself to an entire industry of chefs and hospitality professionals. And I saw
What do you use the Sharpie for?
For labeling.
Oh.
And if you don't label things properly, then the health department shuts you down, right? So, which is hilarious because we always actually label like the vinegar, water, and then we mess up recipes, but totally different story. I had a guy the other day too. We have the $100 bill marker.
Yeah.
He kept coming back to my office saying, these are fake, these are fake. He was so obsessed with the Sharpie, he was using the Sharpie as the $100 bill marker. That's how often it's used.
I thought you were using it in the kitchen like to color in bad parts of the meat.
No, we could do that, and a lot of the young cooks use it to put mustaches on and beards so they feel a lot more, they feel stronger.
Yeah.
But he endeared himself to the entire hospitality industry, and then actually on my timeline yesterday, there were chefs talking about this. Oh, we love Trump the Sharpie. The funny thing is, if you look at the comments over the Sharpie debate, you've got everybody that's like, oh, he's going to save us $2, et cetera. We were spending $20,000 for an auto pen. Okay?
Yeah.
We had Joe Biden walking around in his underpants for 4 years, and nobody said anything about that. But now they're mad about Trump and the Sharpie.
Yeah.
I'm livid, I tell you.
And those weren't Sharpie marks on those underpants. Kat, what stood out for you? That he loved the gays?
Yes. So I finally can say I really did find something that I have in common with Trump, where I'm also very proud of the gay vote that I've gotten. Like, they've never voted for me in an election, but anytime like a gay man likes my Instagram post or gives me a compliment, I'm like, thank you so much. Or if they give me an insult, I'm like, thank you so much. He said, I think it probably helped me. I opened with the gay, I walked off with the gay national anthem, and I think it probably helped me. That's hilarious.
That is YMCA, I believe, is the gay national anthem. I did not know that. I don't know who wrote that into the Constitution, Tom. You know, we were talking about this. You loved when he called in.
Oh, it was fast. That was one of my favorite episodes of the 5. And the thing I love about Trump is he's got the weave, you know? He does the weave in his live shows, but I think his weave is even better in the phone interviews because he has spent so much, he's such a professional phone operator. He's been doing the phone for years, right? And so it was great to hear. I love the, you know, he just takes these things like the gay national anthem. He's just taken that for himself.
Yeah.
Like he just takes, you know, in this game of the culture, he just takes territory, you know, and he's like, the gays love me. You know, he just says it.
Yeah.
You know, this is why political consultants are all out of business now because of Trump. Because they used to always say, remember the political consultants, they said it over and over on Fox News. Every time they would come here, they would say, it's not what you say, it's what the voters hear. And Trump is like, why would I mess with that? Just say what I want them to hear.
Yeah.
So instead of saying something that makes the gays love you, he's like, the gays love me. He just takes it. But now I was noticing on X, so many people on the left, they're like, that's not the gay national anthem. They don't want it anymore. So he's like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
He's going to take everything. Broadway, I love Broadway. I love Judy Garland. He's going to take all the gay stuff.
I thought the gay national anthem was the Canadian national anthem. It's a joke, Canada. We love you. Sometimes say too much. We might love you too much. I'm sounding like Trump right now. All right.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.